Hello everybody and welcome back to FX Street. My name is Akash and today we're going to be taking a look at the screener. As usual, today is Monday and every week we start with coins that we take a look at the screener and scan for coins that show a lot of potential that we can trade for the week. Right, so before we actually get into what the screener is, what metrics we use and that kind of stuff, please make sure to head on over to our YouTube channel and hit the subscribe button. And if you want to stay updated with the hottest trends in the crypto market and not miss out the content that we put out every single day, make sure to also click on this bell icon. Right, you can also give us a follow on Twitter at FXSCrypto, and if you enjoy the content that I push out, you can follow me at Mangek with a 0 at the end. So let's get into the screener. Right, the screener, as usual, contains a couple of important metrics that I think help me kind of scope out altcoins better. Right, so the first one is the volume, which is the volume percentage change over 1 day over 1 week, and then we have the daily active addresses change over 1 day, and that's pretty much it. For social volume, we have 1 day change and 1 week change, and then we have the MVRV30 and the 1 year. Right, so and also we have the exchange inflow, which kind of helps us determine if there is a potential for a sell-off. Right, so let's take a look at why I look at volume. Right, volume oftentimes acts as a leading indicator and can be used to predict if the price is going to pump higher or not. Right, the same like if there's a good increase in volume over the past few days and there's a spike today, like honestly it could, a volume basically consists of a buying side and the selling side combined together, you get this volume. But for cryptocurrencies, usually a spike in volume combined with a couple of other metrics and TA helps you predict if there's going to be an uptrend or a downtrend. But either way, for now we have I've sorted these screeners based on volume. The highest volume spikes that we've seen over the last day is Pundix, how you pronounce it, and then we have ZRX, and then we have STORJ and MTL. But I'm not going to take a look at Pundix because it's not that great of a coin. The liquidity on FTX isn't that great. The wicks are pretty boring. So I'm going to be taking a look at ZRX, STORJ, and Metal. Right, so let's take a look at ZRX first. From a TA perspective, on a 1 day time frame, there was an FEG that was formed over here, which was filled on the 21st of April, and since then the price has crashed quite a bit and is consolidating here with an attempt to kind of move higher. But let's take a look at it from a lower 4-hour time frame perspective. Excuse me. For now, the price, the upside for ZRX is kind of capped at 0.478, and we are seeing another support level could come up here at resistance level come up at 0.443. So far you can see the price has kind of stayed between this range, so if you just mark this out, it'll be really easy. Right, so basically we have a bottom formation at 0.354 and the top at 0.449. Basically ZRX has been trading in this range since the 15th of May. Now so far we've gotten a retest, a sweep of the range high, and also a retest of this resistance level here at 0.478. But as I mentioned in all of my videos when I talk about range bound movements, there's usually a sweep of the range low first and then a range high, or either a sweep of the range high followed by a sweep of the range low. Right, so that is the first reason why I kind of believe that ZRX could slide lower. And the second reason is that the price formed equal lows around here and then higher low around here on 28th of May, all around the 0.354 support level, and not once has price collected liquidity resting below these lows. Right, so in that sense, I mean in that particular outlook, it makes sense for ZRX to take a dip below 0.354 and then make a run higher. Right, now this is an ideal scenario I would expect to play out. If it does happen, I'm going to be bidding ZRX at around excuse me, 0.354. Just give me a second. Yep, so I'm going to be bidding ZRX around here if we get a sweep of 0.354. But there is a possibility where ZRX, due to the bullish weekly opening that we've had so far, I think there could be a chance where price does not go all the way down here, but only bounces off the 50 retracement level here at 0.401 and then makes an attempt to move higher. As long as we stay under 0.478, there is no bullish outlook that we can expect from it, right? But there could be a possibility of a bullish move if the 0.478 support level is flipped, 0.478 resistance level is flipped into a support floor. In that case, the upside is kind of capped at 0.553 and 0.570. Right, this is as far as I see ZRX going from a short-term outlook. Right, so I think either way, right, even if it goes up or down, there's a good chance to trade this coin, regardless of the direction, right? But my bets would be on a retracement down to 0.354. Right, again, right, it depends on what Bitcoin's going to do, because I don't see Bitcoin crashing that hard over the next few days, mainly because the most I see Bitcoin going is a sweep of previous week Monday's low at 29,288. Even if Bitcoin price does go down all the way up to 29k, I don't see ZRX coming all the way down to 0.354. So either way, I think I'm going to be bidding around 0.401 with a very tight stop loss and see how the price kind of does there. My take profit level, if I open a long position here, would be the range high, obviously, and then we have the 0.478 level. But once we get a flip of 0.478, there's a good chance that RX could go up to 0.57 or 0.55. So that is pretty much it for ZRX. And if you also look at the volume over the past week, the volume has been on a really good uptrend. On top of that, the daily active addresses, the number of people addresses interacting with the ZRX blockchain has increased by 40%, which is also a good sign. So yep, that is pretty much it. The only thing that you have to kind of watch out for is this exchange inflow, which is spiked by 311% over the last day. So a sell-off makes sense, right? A sell-off makes sense at least to the midpoint of this range here at 0.401. So watch out for a sell-off. Be patient, see how price reacts around the 0.5 fib here, and then try long it. Let's move to the next coin, which is STORJ. Right, so it's kind of expecting a triple tap setup up here. We got it, the price moved up, tagged this one-day demand zone here, extending from 0.62 to 0.71, rejected, and then moved below this support level here at 0.52. And since then, the price has kind of been like consolidating, slowly moving higher. But either way, you can see that it's moving higher. If you draw a trend line here, it shows the trend is bullish. Right, regardless, right, we haven't still filled the FEG that was formed here between these two levels here. 0.45 and 0.472 is there's still an FEG, right? So I am still expecting a drop in the price for STORJ, but as you can see here, if you look at it, this is an ascending triangle which usually has a bullish outlook. And we have 1, 2, and 3 taps to the upside and 1, 2 to the downside, which satisfies all the conditions that it requires. So from a theoretical standpoint, you are kind of looking at an ascending triangle that forecasts a 21% upswing. Right, 21% upswing puts it at roughly 0.744, which means that it has to not only move past this demand zone, but also, yeah, I think it has to move past this demand zone and hit this target here at 0.745. Now, while this might sound like a perfectly laid out plan, it isn't, right? I feel like this breakout that we're seeing here is a fake out, which will eventually kind of do something like this, right, and fill this gap. That is my first outlook. But if you look at what Bitcoin's going to do, right, or this week or probably the next week, is that I'm expecting a sweep of the previous Monday's low, followed by a move up to the CME gap here at 35.1k. Now, with that in mind, right, a minor retracement followed by a swing up to 35k, right? In that sense, I feel like instead of going all the way down here, I think the price could go at least up to this level here at 0.585. We could see a further trend higher, followed by a retracement down to this support level here, and then an actual move to the upside. Even then, excuse me, Even then, I kind of don't see it moving all the way beyond this supply zone here. So we could probably go up to the midpoint of it, which is 0.664 or 663. Now that would indicate that we are looking at a 14% upswing for STORJ in the coming days. But that said, we could still be wrong in the sense that the price may not breach through the supply zone here, because considering Bitcoin is going to go up to 35, 36k, there's a good chance price could obliterate this supply zone because it was tested twice since the formation of this in a triangle. Right, so it is weakened, yes, but the possibility for breakout where Bitcoin price just heads up to 32, 33k, unlikely. But if Bitcoin heads up to 36, 35k, then there's a good chance we could break this and hit the theoretical target at 0.744. As for the downside, like I mentioned here, there's an FEG gap here extending from 0.454 to 0.472. Now that is where I believe the downside is kind of capped. We may probably get a sweep below the FEG, but I think it's going to be temporary. So that is my take on STORJ. Let's take a look at the next coin, which is MTL. Right, so I was kind of looking at MTL today morning, and what's happened right now is that the price has breached through this long-standing resistance level here at 1.527, and like the move was pretty interesting because on 6 June today it rallied 16% in a single 4-hour candlestick, and then it's reversed it, right? I kind of feel like we are currently retesting this 1.52 support level, resistance level, which is now flipped into a support level, right? If the price holds above 1.52, it's a good sign, right? In which case you can expect the price to slowly probably consolidate up here before making another move up to $9.3. I mean $1.93, but that is questionable, right? So the next target is 1.935. So if we hold above 1.525, something like this, there's a good chance price could go up to 1.95. But if we kind of fail to move above that, there could be retracement down to 1.43, 1.47, and there's again an FEG over here up to at least 1.36. So I'm kind of hesitant on MTL. I would probably wait for the price to retrace, kind of fill all the inefficiencies formed here as the price moved up today, and then probably take another look at MTL and see how it's performing. Probably even take a look at the on-chain metrics to see how things are going. The daily active addresses looks pretty good. The MVRV on the 1 year time frame looks pretty good. Looks like a decent accumulation spot. But the inflow is something that you need to be worried about, right? And also, if you look at the inflows, the retracement scenario kind of makes sense. Like at least, if not all the way down to 1.31, we could probably foresee MTL coming down to 1.44. So yeah, that is pretty much it for the screeners, guys. The coins that you gotta have in your watch list are STORJ, ZRX, and MTL. So if you enjoyed this analysis, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.